Tony, you happy with your start to the season?
Yeah, we're moving along comfortably. Look at some of the games, and obviously conceding late goals against Sunderland and Tottenham was disappointing. But that happens. Over a season, it evens itself out. We hope.
Defensively, you've got to be pleased, haven't you? The amount of goals that
yeah, and I'm pleased. Chadley's come in and give us that little bit more going forward as well. So he's settled in very, very well. Him and Solomon have got a good understanding going at the moment. So yeah, we're pleased. We're pleased with the ones who have come in. We're pleased with the ones we've added to the squad. They're a good group of players, and they work tremendously hard as well, Pete.
Obviously, he's done well on the pitch. But what's Nasser Chadley like in and around the place?
No, he's fine. He's been welcomed. Obviously, technically, he's a very, very good player. So, good players coming into your football club. The players have admiration for good players, and it brings the level up. I think the other thing is he's such a nice guy as well. That, they've warmed to him. He's a really, really good lad and a good professional. He's one of them again. A bit like the lads we brought in. You've got to shovel him off the pitch. He wants to stay on and train, after training is finished. And we train quite hard at this football club, but he always wants to do extra and always wants to do bits and pieces, which is testament to him and also a great example to the younger players who train with us.
By the same token, does it disappoint you that Sido's having to do extra work because he's overweight?
No, not really. I think we've come to the conclusion that that's the best way forward for Sido. And he's bought into it as well. So we'll take him out of the firing line, and it's important that we get him back to the sharpness and the fitness. And we think as a football club with the medical side, that's the best way of doing it, because when you're playing, as we are at the moment, the players are training hard at the beginning of the week and then dropping off. And then Sido's having the weekend off as well. So we've put a fitness program in place, and we're hoping and praying that that will benefit him and get him back to where we want him.
How does a player get overweight? I mean, is it a metabolism thing? Does he just let himself go? What's the?
You have to speak to the medical side. The fact is, that
sure, you've asked him.
Eh?
You'll have asked him.
Nah, there's all different reasons, isn't there? I don't think there's just one reason. I think there's all different reasons. But what we've done, we've looked at it, and the lad's bought into it as well. He wants to get himself as fit as he can, and we think this is the best way of doing it, Pete.
But are you disappointed with him?
No, not at all. I think, as I've said all along, I think Sido's got too many people around him talking to him at times, and he gets carried away with different ideas and different thoughts.
Are they feeding him though?
No, I'm what, like you're feeding me? No, the situation is the situation. We've decided this is the best way to get Sido fit, to get him back on board, and to get him playing the way he played when I first came here. And that's very, very important for this team. It's very, very important for the club. So that we've decided this is the way we're going to do it, and that's the way we're going to do it.
Playing Liverpool, did you watch Red Monday? Did you enjoy the match?
Yeah, it was tactically. It was a decent game. I don't think it lived up to the expectations. But they're two great football clubs, two great traditional English football clubs who've got great players. And of course I watched it. Everybody else watched it, Pete, as well, I should imagine.
But speaking to Mark Hughes this morning, he was saying possibly with two foreign managers coming, it wasn't what Liverpool Man United was in the past. Do you agree? That tactically and technically it was a different derby.
Yeah, it is what it is, and I think that we've come to understand and recognise that we have to deal with new avenues, with foreign players coming in, foreign coaches coming in, foreign owners coming in. That's the Premier League now, and you either push it to one side and make excuses, or you embrace it. And it's there, and you have to embrace it. And if managers are tactically and technically more concerned about their teams than the old cut and thrust and blood and thunder, then fine. That's the way. The way it is. But we're playing Liverpool tomorrow. We've got some fantastic players. We know it's going to be a really, really tough game. Their front five are exceptional. All of them. I've got the ability of taking players out of the game individually. You know, they got leg beaters everywhere that you look into the group of Liverpool players. So it's going to be a tough game for us, and you know, we're expecting nothing else.
How do you set up for this then? Because like you say, you could face a front five and not necessarily a striker amongst them.
No, they rotate, they move. You know, they're a little bit different maybe than Tottenham in some respects. But you know, we've looked at the tapes, and obviously we've played them twice as well. So you give the players a little bit of an understanding before we go into the game of what to expect. But even doing that, you know, with the ability that Coutinho's got, you know, Flamingo, I should imagine, will play. Lallana, you know, they're all top players who have got that ability to do something off the cuff that can win games for you.
And how do you get on with Jurgen Klopp? Because didn't he swerve a handshake one game with you?
No, he's all right. I've you know, we played against him twice. He's been all right. He's passionate, which is again brilliant. You know, you want people to be passionate. I think supporters will, you know, accept that passion is an important part of the game, and an important part of their team, an important part of their club. He certainly has tried to get the supporters and the players riled up and win games. You know, they've got a great chance this year. They're not involved in Europe, so they've got a clear run at it. When quite a few of the other clubs are going to be bogged down with European games. So, you know, I think the last time Liverpool weren't in Europe and had a squad as strong as this, Brendan came very, very close. And I expect Liverpool to be one of those teams to come very, very close because of that reason.
And would you take him celebrating a draw tomorrow?
Sorry?
Would you take him celebrating a draw tomorrow?
I just want to go there and make sure we're well set up and that the players enjoy it, work really hard. We know how tough it's going to be, Pete.